Bills win while Josh filled up the score sheet, both sides, 3 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns, and one of his 2 interceptions is up there with the grossest plays of the list. Khalil Shakir, very impressed. Dude's a dog. He's just a dog. That's what it is, okay? There's no need to overthink it. I mean, he's unreal at everything he does. Yeah. The best player in the league by far, and he's going to show that every game day.
God,
Josh ran the numbers.
Yeah.
3 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns. Every game in the Super Bowl era, almost around 27,000. No one has ever done it. Josh has done it twice in 120 games. The one caveat, of course, who did it in 1954? Our guy.
Otto Graham.
Otto Graham.
Yeah.
Great Otto Graham out here. What did Josh and the Bills prove?
I mean, listen, this is the way they have to play because of who their defense is. And this is what I was trying to say last week, and then we got to see it, which is I do not believe that their receiving core is so inept that the Josh Allen explosiveness can't exist. We saw it yesterday, and you just have to – he has to tap into the old school Josh, which is going to have, like you said – he still is the guy that in his first playoff game ever was running down the sideline, threw the ball backwards over his head in mid-court. Like, that lives in him somewhere, and it pops out occasionally. Because he had the pick. He also did the mid-play forward pass, which he did in a playoff game against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But when
this is insane.
When he activates that mode, this is a compliment. When he activates that mode is when he is the scariest. And they just scored every time they had the ball and didn't turn the ball over. And of course, listen, I know how the deal for most of the media with Josh Allen, 6 days ago, they get blown out by the Dolphins. It's everyone else's fault.
Nothing he can do.
Nothing he can do. Today, he's the most talented player in the history of the position. I get it. I've come to peace with it. But this is what they're going to have to do because that defense stinks. So their path to a Super Bowl, Brew, is Josh Allen get on a heater for a month, and that was a great win by him. He was the reason they won.
Yeah, and the first thing they proved is that what I said about the Buccaneers, Nick's other Super Bowl prediction.
The Bucs were good.
Yes, they were good.
Yeah.
They were cute. That's what they were. Yeah. Okay, so that was proven. Okay. And secondly, I do agree with you, Nick. They have to let Josh be Josh.
Yes.
It's gonna come with some boneheaded plays, some recklessness. Let's face it. Because remember, a lot of people act like we say it on this show. You don't hear it on a lot of other shows. They took the ball out of his hands.
Correct.
They midway through last season when they went away from Stephon Diggs, or 2 years ago, when they got away from Stephon Diggs, they started running more. His pass attempts went way down. Last year was the case. Early this year was the case. And his turnovers went down. But they clearly did that, Joe Brady, the OC, so he wouldn't turn the ball over.
But they had a defense they could trust.
Yes, but as they are now, they don't have enough elsewhere to win games with him playing that way. So they have to let him go Superman mode. And look, let's keep it real. A major reason that his Superman mode with the recklessness hasn't gotten him at least to a Super Bowl is Mahomes. That's it. I mean, he's been good in a lot of those games against the Chiefs, but he hasn't been able to beat the Chiefs. But if the Chiefs aren't as good as they used to be, or if they don't make the playoffs, then maybe he can win a Super Bowl or get there playing his reckless Superman style.
Yeah, we got the full Josh experience. I think both of you guys are spot on about this is who he has to be moving forward. If you're a Bills fan, and this is the team that I picked to represent the AFC, it's a blessing and it's a curse. Because I say it's a blessing because we know he's capable of doing this. Yes. And when he does this, really good things can happen. The curse of it is because we know he's capable of doing this, the expectation is you got to do this every game. And more importantly, you got to do it when it counts the most in the postseason. When teams are literally going to say, well, they only got one thing. That's Josh. Let's take him away. And the expectation does not change. Josh, be the blessing that we all know that you are capable of being.
Yeah, KW.
Hard ceiling on this team.
Hold on.
Hard ceiling.
Hold
This
on.
is all music to my ears.
Can I ask you a question, though, real quick? Dust, give us 30 seconds. I know we're late. If you are playing the Bills in a playoff game, if Magic Genie comes to you and is like, you get to pick their game plan.
Oh, interesting.
You're rooting for the Pats. Ball control, handoff to James Cook, but guaranteed 0 turnovers. Or Josh Allen loco mode. What are you more scared of? What are you as a Pats fan more scared of?
Scared is an interesting word.
Yes.
I'll table scared.
Concerned?
I would prefer crazy Josh Allen.
Okay, be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, Tom Brady told Josh Allen, hey, sometimes you got to eat it. I will take a playoff turnover any day of the week.
With 6 touchdowns?
They go into Denver and leave with a 500 record. Mahomes was harassed by the pass rush all game. Offense can't get past 20. As Bo leads yet another comeback. Here's a picture of the playoff picture. In the hunt, number 9. Not bad. Pretty good. In the hunt, right with the Ravens. Is KC officially in trouble?
That's 3 of Texans, Chiefs, Ravens, because the AFC's had the same Final Four each of the last 2 years. Bills, Texans, Chiefs, Ravens. And 3 of the 4 of those are currently out of the playoffs, and the Bills holding on the 5 spot. All right, so listen. They deserved to lose yesterday. They lost that game on offense and on defense. They had the ball in the fourth quarter with a lead, went 3 and out, had the ball in the fourth quarter tied with 4 minutes left, chance to just take the air out of the football, kick a field goal, get out of there. They win. I lose my 3.5, but so be it. That's why you don't bet on sports, kids. And they didn't do it. And then they had Bo Nix in a 3rd and 15. And that was the 3rd. Last year, the Chiefs gave up 0. 0 all year. 3rd and 10s or longer in the fourth quarter of 1-score games. 0 all year. This is the 4th one they've given up this year in 4 losses. Chargers loss, Eagles loss, Jags loss, and now this play here, which just can't happen. I dropped to my knees on this play, to be totally candid. I couldn't believe it. Patrick wasn't good enough. Bo played better. I cannot do what I did last week, which is guarantee the victory and laugh at the idea that they would lose this game and then not acknowledge the Broncos outplayed them and the Broncos were better. That's all true. It is also true that 10 wins for this Chiefs team might not get them in.
Oof.
It could get them in, but 10 wins because they don't have a tiebreaker with Jacksonville head-to-head, and then we'll see how the other stuff plays out. If they go, and I'm not saying they will, if they go 7-0 the rest of the way, they're obviously in. And if they go 6-1, 11 wins will get in, I believe. 10 wins might not. Now, the good part of that is all of the good teams they play are at Arrowhead, and they've been good at home. That's the positive.
Yeah.
The bad part of it is the Colts have 8 wins, or 9 wins? I don't know. 8 wins?
8 and 2.
8 wins. Obviously, the Chargers are fighting for their lives, and the Broncos are right now the 1 seed. And the Broncos might go into that game knowing we have a chance to end the Chiefs season. So all that's real. I still believe the Chiefs will make the playoffs, and I think all of us believe if they make the playoffs having won either 5 out of their final 7 or 6 out of their final 7, they will be super dangerous, assuming Patrick's healthy. But this is uncharted waters. They have been 5-4 before. They have not been 5-5 before, and it feels choppy.
Yeah, look, if they get in the playoffs, they may not feel like the team to beat, but they will be scary. Nobody will want to play them. There'll be a mystique there. I definitely, as somebody that picks and is obviously pulling for the Ravens, I do still feel, I feel like they're in the Ravens' head. And I think they're not in Denver's head. I don't know if they're in Buffalo's head, but the Ravens, it'd be better if the Chiefs weren't in the playoffs altogether. But not only, Nick, did yesterday, I think, and this may be obvious, but it probably in the division, chance of winning the division, it ended Mahomes' MVP bid, would you say?
Unless they would have to go undefeated.
And
they would
even
have
if
to
they
reel
do,
off
they
7
probably
straight.
still, we've talked about how generally the MVPs have come from the 1 or 2 seed.
Yep.
They probably won't win the division. So it probably ended that. And Mahomes does have to be better. Like that interception he threw yesterday cost them 3 points, and then Denver went down and scored their only touchdown. We've seen him, with the pick six against Jacksonville. That may have cost them that game. The pick six, or not pick six, but the pick in the red zone against Philadelphia, which was Kelsey's fault, but still it goes on Mahomes' record. So he has to be better. But as far as the playoffs, look, now New England and Buffalo, Indy and Denver are pretty much in. I'm going to personally say Baltimore because I think they're going to win the AFC North.
Sure.
Yeah. But then Pittsburgh is now a wild card in that AFC North has a shot against the Chiefs. Yeah. And Houston is coming. Now they play Houston, so they'll get their chance. I think, Greg, the big game for the Chiefs is Sunday against Indy. I think if they lose that game, I think they're going to miss the playoffs, not just because of the math being 5 and 6, but I think, we have enough evidence now. They're not what they used to be, and they're not good enough to win out. They might lose to Houston. They might get swept by the Chargers. They might get swept by Denver. So it would just tell me they're not good enough to win out like they would need to make the playoffs if they lose to Indy.
So are they in trouble? I do believe they're in trouble. I'm not willing to sit here and say that they're not good enough to win out. And
even if they lose to Indy is what I'm
okay. For the next 7 weeks.
He's saying they could win out.
They could win out now.
Yeah,
you think? Wow.
And I'm saying this, and I want to reference this because I told you I'm not going to doubt and question this team and that guy, Patrick Mahomes.
A month ago, everybody was bending
I'm still not gonna do it.
It felt like
what I will say is, if you're a team in the AFC and you see the defending AFC champs, the perennial Super Bowl contender, every single opportunity that you have on remaining on this schedule, every team is trying to put them out. Every team is trying to put them out of their misery. The same way you as a fan don't want to see them, the teams don't want to see them in the postseason either. Even though they feel like, they are gettable, they're more gettable, but they also understand if they get in, anything can happen because they have that guy and they've been there before. So are they in trouble? Of course. They're about to take everyone's best shot because everyone wants to be the team, the reason that we say they knocked the champs
and more so,
out.
and that part, but for the Colts and the Broncos specifically, they will look at those games as a chance to prevent Kansas City from making the tournament. And if you're the Colts and you feel like, wait, we might not have to beat Mahomes in the playoffs if we can beat them this week.
Knock them out.
Yeah.
Can I ask you one question before we move on? As you know, flag football champion, Kevin White.
Are you asking me or Greg this?
I'm asking, I'll ask Greg, since, football minds. Flag football champion coach.
Same.
My analysis of this game was going to be like, they're going to harass Mahomes and the Chiefs can't run the ball. But I'm only a flag football coach, and I'm sure after a bye, they're going to have some sort of plan, and Andy Reid's great after a bye. Then I watched the game, it's like, they can't run the ball, and they're harassing Mahomes. Are you surprised that the game kind of played out in a very traditional way? There wasn't any real curveball there.
I'm not. I don't know if there's a team that the Denver Broncos hasn't harassed.
Yeah.
I don't think the reason why I'm like, this was a great win for the Broncos. I don't know if they're going to see another defense like this until they play the Broncos again week 17.
So just real quick, I said everything I said last week. I predicted the Chiefs to score 20 points in this game.
Yeah.
To me, what I was most disappointed with, listen, Patrick's pick was bad. He missed Xavier Worthy on the first throw of the game. You had opportunities, but I wouldn't have signed up. 19 points against what arguably is the very best, is a little different than flag football, the very best defense in the NFL. They're the best for a reason. The disappointing part is you couldn't get Bo Nix off the field on third and long repeatedly. That was, to me, listen, Patrick should have been better. If people are watching, I'm not letting Patrick off the hook. But despite how Patrick played, if the defense can make Bo Nix look the way he has looked most of the year, they're not in that spot.
Not in the fourth quarter.
Right, but they were. He did most of his damage earlier in the game.
I think their game plan was they threw deep a lot
To try to open it up.
Yes, they wanted to open up for the run, and then they didn't connect.
Meanwhile, in Philly, the Eagles scored 16 points to get their 8th win. Defense flustered Goff all game as the Lions go 0 for 5 on 4th down. Here's a picture of the playoff picture. The Eagles are 8-2 and are slated for the bye. They've also got the best Super Bowl odds. Okay. Sorry. Are you worried about the Lions, bro?
Yeah, they're not as good as they were last year. Period. And I think they're still a good team and a team capable of making the playoffs, but they're not nearly as good as they were last year. And Jared Goff, and I know you guys are going to talk about him. I don't know if we have this graphic, but we all know against pressure, he really struggles, and obviously they got pressure on him yesterday. These are his ranks. Now, he's completing 73% of his passes before yesterday. Yesterday was 37% against their pressure. So they got pressure on him, and that changed the whole game. And if you look at their schedule, I don't know if you guys have – their schedule is
coming up?
Yeah, coming up. I mean, they still, they're in a tough division. But you see they got the Giants, okay, but then Green Bay, the Rams still, Pittsburgh, Chicago. So they control their own destiny because they do play, their division is who they're fighting against, the Bears and the Packers. But I think they will, them or the Bears or the Packers, I think 2 of those teams will probably make it.
Yeah.
Maybe
but
not 3.
Because it looks like the NFC West is getting 3. San Francisco is Seattle, the Rams.
Because they're scheduled too.
And then Bucs, Eagles, 2 NFC North. And if the Lions are S-Bob, here's another reason to be worried. Man, and Greg, you didn't like when I talked about this with Daniel Jones and the Colts. Maybe I was wrong. I think you'll agree with me with the Lions. They need to play in that dome. And Jared Goff is very unique. You give him great protection like he's had, particularly if it's indoors. He will put up numbers like he is one of the 3 or 4 best quarterbacks in football year after year. The offensive line is not as good as it was. That's obvious. The Eagles' defensive line dominated that game. Plus, it's outdoors. It's a little cold. It's windy. And, Greg, I hid something in your wardrobe. I don't know if you noticed it before the show. Look in your breast pocket. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, this guy.
It's been sitting there all show.
Sorry,
you didn't
Jared.
notice. You didn't notice
I'm sorry,
because
Jared.
the tiny hands. You saw they reared their ugly head in that game. Greg, thank you. I appreciate it. So I would be worried if I were the Lions because their path now is road games potentially in Green Bay or Chicago or Philly or even San Francisco in January. That part plus the offensive line not being what it once was. Dan Campbell calling plays wasn't this panacea that's going to cure everything. I think it's
In Chicago, who would you take that game?
No, I would take the Lions.
In San Francisco.
I don't know about that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. But I just if they're S-Bob Wildes, we're talking about them winning 3 straight playoff games, maybe all on the road.
Yeah. They don't look anything like a Super Bowl team. Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, I'm definitely worried about the Lions. I'm worried about the Lions, not just because of what I saw out of Jared Goff when you pressure them, but their offense just looks a bit disjointed. When we first started talking about this team this year, if we throw away the Green Bay game, week 1, we know one thing about the Lions. They're going to punch you in the mouth.
Yeah.
If they want to run the football, they're going to run the football. And this season, we've seen more often than not their inability to run the football. And Gibbs has been a player that they have deemed, with me, my eyes are telling me, a player we just got to get the ball any way we can.
He was
not only just in the running game, but when you're leading your team in receptions and receiving yards in a game where you're trying to you've targeted Amon-Ra St. Brown 12 times, and Jared Goff is just, I don't know what his issue was. I don't know if it was the weather. I don't know if it was the glove, the pressure. Maybe it was a combination of all of it. But his inability to be accurate yesterday it killed their offensive momentum. But more than that, it's because the pressure was on him to just deliver. They have no run game. Against these teams that they need to be able to run against, when you don't have a run game, Dan Campbell calling plays only made it even worse because it's like he can't even call the run. And I know he wants to call the run.
They didn't expect the Lions under Dan Campbell after that, that opening season when they weren't a good team yet, have not played hardly any games where in their week leading up to it, they're like, oh boy, we don't have an advantage in the trenches here.
Yeah.
And I think, to me, that's what happened. That's what their game plan was like. They acknowledged that, and then you saw it play out in real time. Lions defense, the Eagles offense is so disjointed. Wildes, it's like, do we give the Lions defense credit, or is that an Eagles thing? I honestly don't know. But the Lions would have signed up at any point. The Eagles aren't going to get to 20. Can we win? And instead, the Eagles controlled every aspect. The only reason it was one score was because Sirianni did another goofy.
I don't know what
goofy decision at the end.
Let's head to New York where the Packers righted the ship. It's Micah Parsons stripped Jameis and spoiled his debut. Jordan Love threw 2 TDs. Green Bay 6-3-1. Somewhat good news. Josh Jacobs left the game but reportedly will not need surgery, so that's good. Okay, Bruce, your faith restored after a win over the Giants, considering that 35 minutes ago you wanted to become an Eagles fan.
No. I'm still with the Pack. But it's like the Ravens. Like, no, I'll take the W, but they have to keep improving. Now, I do think J-Lo played well. We saw the game-winning pass, perfect placement, great catch by Christian Watson. But yesterday, I mean, you look at his numbers, 13 for 24. They had 7 drops. 7 drops by the receivers. I'm not even counting the ones by the defensive backs. They should have had like 3 or 4 interceptions. I'm about to call Brian Gutekunst and tell him get Greg Jennings back on that roster. And bring your broadcasting mentor with you too. You know? No, but they were dropping balls left and right. And look, I still feel like the Packers have the ability to get to the Super Bowl. This is what I mean. I mixed it up. The Lions' schedule is not
as tough. Oh, you're talking about the Packers.
Look at the Packers. Their schedule is a monster. Because I don't consider Minnesota like a gimme. I mean, they're not as good as some of these other teams. Right. Division. You got
KW
2 against Minnesota. You got 2 with Chicago.
I don't think Minnesota or Chicago is good.
Chicago's 7-3. Okay, I'm just saying. Right. And you got Denver and Baltimore and Detroit.
Okay.
So, like, they got their, look, on the good side is that Chicago is a team you're fighting with for playoff position. Yeah. So you got a chance to control that. Same with Detroit, but their schedule is really tough.
You really can cement yourself as the show's Packers guy.
I've been with J.O.
Brew wants KW.
No, I don't.
He wants out. He wants out.
No, I do not.
Again, as Wild said on Friday, you talk about the Ravens with such vigor and passion.
Well, they're
and
my
belief.
main pick.
I understand, but this team's 6-3-1. The Ravens are, and you're like, it's like
The Packers haven't looked good since week 2, and maybe look, we know the Commanders aren't as good as we thought.
So maybe just
really
week
haven't looked good since week 1.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is.
But I'm with them.
I'm with them. So look, man, I don't need my faith to be restored. There was nothing wrong with my faith in this team. As long as they have Jordan Love, I recognize that they haven't had the same ability to run the football as they did last year. I recognize that. My eyes don't lie to me. What I do realize is Matt LaFleur is going to have to make a decision and say, Jordan, receivers, we need you to win games, period. I don't care who's available, who's not available. Their season is aligning very similarly, oddly enough, just like ours did when we won it in 2010. Like the injuries, the quarterback just depending on the receiver play, not really having the run game. Josh Jacobs gets hurt. Ryan Grant got hurt. Jermichael Finley got hurt. Obviously, Tucker Kraft gets hurt. They're going to need more out of Jordan Love and these receivers. You talk about those drops, we can't have that. They have to be better for their quarterback. I think that they will. And more importantly, probably even that side of the ball, defensively, they cannot continue to give up so much yardage. I know they're not allowing a lot of points at times, but just allowing teams to build confidence like the Giants, like you did and provided for the Giants and that Jameis Winston-led team, like you can't keep doing that. When you have the talent that you have on that defense, you got to close these games out and help your offense out.
Welcome back to a Monday episode of First Things First. Steelers won the battle, lost the war. Pittsburgh beats the Bengals. But reports are that Rodgers has a fractured left wrist. Is Pittsburgh in trouble if Aaron misses time and it's Mason Rudolph time?
I don't necessarily think that they're in trouble, simply because of the way the defense is playing right now. Aaron is not, obviously he's been a huge boost to them in that quarterbacking position, being consistent and not turning the ball over a lot. But they haven't been an explosive offense all season long. What I am seeing out of this defense is a defense that's waking up and turning you over.
You know, it's in their DNA. It's their culture.
I mean, that's what a lot of people say. That's what a lot of people say. And as long as they continue to do this, and Mason Rudolph, if he's going to be your guy moving forward, gets under center and he doesn't turn the ball over, I think he can consistently do the things that now, as far as putting them in the right plays, I can't speak to that, but his ability to throw the ball, make the right decisions, I think he's been around long enough to where he can do those
I don't think they'll be that different, bro. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is playing it. I think he was giving you like the 22nd best quarterbacking in the league.
Almost what they signed up for.
Right, and I think Mason Rudolph will come in and give you like the 25th best quarterback. You know what and so he'll be better than the guys who are either rookies or not, other injured replacements.
Right.
Like, I think he is an above-average backup. And I think Rodgers was playing like a low-level starter. And the delta between above-average backup and low-level starter is, not that much. So I don't think it is, oddly, all that significant. Because I don't think they were going to win a lot of games moving forward through Rodgers' right arm.
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously I think they're in trouble with or without Rodgers. Like, I think the Ravens are going to overtake them. But with Mason Rudolph, yesterday they looked at times better just because he was throwing the ball more downfield than Rodgers was. But over the rest of the season, I would think they'd be better with Rodgers. I think they probably feel more confident with him because of his pedigree, right? And he's just been there. But look, if Rodgers is out next week, I gave them, they play Chicago, I believe, a good chance of beating Chicago. But with Rudolph, I don't give them as good of a chance. So I think they'll fall off earlier. But look, I just think the Steelers are what they are anyway, which is a team that'll maybe be in the hunt for that 7th playoff seed, whether Rodgers or Rudolph is.
You're still like, just because for this show, a lot of our Steelers conversations are either tangentially or directly a Ravens conversation.
Right.
This week, the Steelers looked better than the Ravens. Would you agree?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of putting you on the spot.
I do think the Browns are tough. I mean, I know they don't win games.
The Browns are the
if they had a
quarterback,
Bengals.
Right? But
if they had a quarterback, they'd be.
Yeah, and if the Bengals had a defense, you know what I mean.
But I don't think Flacco. See, I expected Flacco to come back to earth.
Sure,
I didn't think he was going to continue to play like Joe Burrow.
No, and that's totally fair, and he did. I guess you are more confident in the Ravens running down the Steelers than I am.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, I expect the Ravens and Steelers to split their matchup. And so that would then give...
And that could division...
Right. That would give the Ravens 5 games to make up a game, and depending on either 1 or 2 games. If they split their matchups...
The Steelers have a couple of other...
Yeah, and so, the Steelers have a tougher end-of-season schedule, but the Ravens have a bunch of divisional games. and one of those, the
Yeah, they
Steelers
got
are
Buffalo
done
again.
playing the Bengals. The Ravens are probably getting the Bengals with Joe Burrow, right?
That's an interesting
don't
one.
Don't the Ravens have
couple
the
weeks.
Patriots and the
Yeah,
Packers?
they do.
Patriots, Packers.
Yeah,
So
the
they
Patriots,
really-
Packers, 2 against the Steelers. A Bengals game with Joe Burrow, like.
I just think the Ravens, and they haven't looked this way since Lamar got back, but their ceiling is so much higher.
I totally
and
agree.
I expect their offense to get close to
I need to see the offense look like
Yeah.
it did before that Chiefs game. That's what I need to see.
Seahawks Rams pumpkin mode. Sam Darnold threw 4 interceptions in the biggest game of the year, his biggest game of the year. Are you allowed to criticize him or even have a news read? I guess not. Seems like a lot at the end.
Hey,
Good teammate.
great
gonna say,
teammate.
Seems like
exactly.
a lot at the end.
That's what I want to hear if I'm Sam Darnold. I'm serious.
I
Greg,
guess so.
Great
come
teammate.
on. Even if in his mind he's like, man, yeah, Sam was bad.
little much.
That's what you want to hear.
A little much for me.
KW, you
He
said
played terribly. As bad as he played, you need to go that much further in the opposite direction to get his
you
confidence.
remember a
Keep his
few weeks
confidence
ago,
up.
Brew, when Wildes had that really, really awful show.
Oh yeah.
Somebody
that bad. I was
somebody tweeted to me
we
or
did that?
tweeted to us talking trash about him. I DM'd that guy the exact same thing. Hey man, Wildes been carrying us for all football season. Bleep you, man. I disagree about pumpkin mode.
You don't think he went pumpkin mode? You think the
Deer
Rams-
in the headlights mode, different modes, just like
the same
trap
mode.
game. Pumpkin mode is what we are afraid Daniel Jones is going to do. I mean, I'm picking on Daniel, but I'm saying a quarterback that we
Like
don't think is
Geno
good,
did eventually.
that played well for a couple month
then
stretch,
just goes
and then is going to
pumpkin.
turn into a pumpkin. Darnold, I said it last week and I stand by it. I think he's graduated out of that. He has multiple seasons now, big stretches of high-level football. Deer in the headlights mode might be a little worse though. Because it's like, doesn't matter how well you're playing consistent it is.
He's gonna fool you.
Well, when the spotlight gets bright, which is what happened to him last year,
Yep.
and now it's happened to him again. That's what is concerning. The concerning is it's just big games. That Darnold has found his equilibrium as a quarterback. He's, in multiple systems, multiple styles, he's been really good. And then in the biggest spots, it's not like, oh, he's not quite as good. He has been a turnover machine. Well, that's the concern if you're Seattle, to me, bro.
I agree that that's a concern because last year against Detroit in that winner-take-all game, he didn't play well. Then in the playoff game. I will give him this, though. Against Tampa Bay, he threw 4 touchdowns.
Yep.
1 interception. That's a big game. Jacksonville, 2 touchdowns, no picks. I mean, Jacksonville right now is in the play. So
He has good games.
I
He
will
just has
give it.
good and
but
terrible.
but these are pretty good teams, though. I'm just saying because I get the thought of big games, man. And this was a game. Hey, it's a prove it game, and he didn't do it. But he threw every interception. There were like at least 2 Rams
He
right
was
there.
trying to make superstar throws.
Yeah, and that was what was concerning. Like, he was throwing them in the team meetings, if you will, because it was at least 2. Like, there, you see there's 2 Rams right there. I mean, he threw right to that guy.
Yeah, the first one was the worst.
There's 2 Rams,
The first one was the worst one. Look, he knows he can't play like this. I love everything that his teammate said, though. And
Yes.
you talked about this. I'm gonna use a word, and you talked about this a couple weeks ago. You're all about vibes.
Yeah, I'm a big vibes guy.
When you hear a teammate stand 10 toes down and defend another teammate that we would all say, man, if he just only had 3 of those, they possibly win that game. And they speak to them needing to be better on that side of the ball when we watched with our own eyes and was like, man, that defense was great. Even despite the 4 turnovers and having given the Rams extra possessions, they still, the moment they got the first turnover, you're not getting in the end zone, no points. To say we could have done more, it shows me a sign of a team that understands we're going to need him just like he's going to need us. We're not going to allow this one game to divide us at all. We believe in who he has been. We don't believe in what he just did.
I buy all that.
I like that a lot.
I like all that. I buy all that. But fair or not, The end of last season plus this game.
Nick,
even hold
I'm-
even if he's excellent from now until week 18, that concern is going to be banging around everyone's head when the playoffs start.
Until he plays a good win.
Absolutely. It'll be a concern for us. Last year, the last game of the season to win the division, when he was in Minnesota, you alluded to it against Detroit. Did we hear any of the Vikings speak up the way not the coach, any of the players?
Oh, defending him.
Defending him in this manner.
After that.
Did we hear any of the players doing that after the postseason game? No. When you hear players stand up like this, midseason, understanding who he has been for us, and feeling like literally saying he's the reason why we're here. He's the reason why we're in these games. Nobody believed in this team to start the season, but they did. And one of the reasons why, because of what he has been at the quarterback position. So for him to have a bad game and the team, the vibes that they have created to say, no, man, I'm not going to let y'all bash my quarterback. He's not that guy that he used to be. He's different. And he's going to continue to be different. When it comes time and those lights are bright, he going to remember, my guys got me. I got to show up for him.
You can play that card once.
You can.
That's all I'm saying. You another
Next
multiple.
week.
Yeah,
I'm with you there. I'm with you there.
It's an early card to play. I'm just saying. Coming up next.
We're going to talk about the Rams, but also Jamar Chase suspended.
Jamar Chase suspended 1 game for spitting. He will miss the Patriots game. Complain about the schedule if you want. What do you want us to do?
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.